Mitchell Evans off the pole, Nick Cassidy from grid position 2, arguably two of New Zealand's fastest motor racing drivers currently. Scott Pye and Daniel Kiervat from row number 2. Nick Foster and Josh Hill will start from row number 3. A row 4 start for Damon Leach and Germany's Mario van Baker. Back to Ivan Lukashevich and Jamie McNee from row number 5. A row 6 start for Alex Lynn and Earl Bamber. Then we go back to Auckland's Alistair Wooten alongside Japan's Kotaro Sakurai, and completing the grid lineup, Australian Jordan Skinner and Kenny Smith at 69 years of age. We are about to go racing 35 laps for the 56th New Zealand Grand Prix, brought to you by Lexus F Sport. A storming start from Kiervat, but I think Mitch Evans has got the advantage down into 1.
But Cassidy's going to try and go around the outside. He's got to stay in front of Kiervat. It's desperately important he does. And it looks like he's just managed to do that.
Cold tyres, big fuel loads, the longest race for the championship, the most prestigious race. We're on board with the young Russian in 3rd position, and these cars will be a handful in the opening laps.
They will do, Jamie. The tanks are full. This is not a sprint race. This is 35 laps. All the drivers have been told to be patient. Be patient. Just the race will come to you, but I'll guarantee they won't be patient. And here's Damon Leach in the pits. I can't see what's happening with the engine cover off, and that is a problem.
Oh, that's heartbreak for Invercargill's Damon Leach. So Mitch Evans out to the early front running, chased by Nick Cassidy. Great shot over the top of the rear wing of the Wet and Forget number 1, the reigning, defending TRS champion, the youngest ever winner of the TRS championship, finished 2nd in the New Zealand Grand Prix last season as the two E-Tech teammates give each other a little bit of a touch-up.
I think Josh Hill was actually pushing the car in front of him along there. That was very, very close. Josh Hill's been very fast this weekend, and he wants to get his name on this trophy, as his grandfather's name was on the trophy.
Yes, 1965 and 1966, Graham Hill of Great Britain won the first one in a 2.5 litre Brabham and a second one in the BRM.
So the tyres will be coming up to temperature in about half a lap time. It's a very warm day here. The track is hot already, but these tyres take just a little bit to get under their correct pressure and under their correct temperature. A lot of the grid is starting off on some new tyres and some partially scrubbed. So there's going to be a little different setup for the cars in the first few laps until they settle down.
Well, again, you really want these race cars to be coming on later on in the race. You don't want them to be too aggressive, too early, too fast, too early. But what you can't plan on is a safety car.
Exactly. You can't plan on a safety car, and of course if there is a safety car it means a problem for somebody, and we know that in the Toyota Racing Series the safety cars have bred a very fraught restart, and lots of people have profited by that.
So Earl Bamber is the defending New Zealand Grand Prix champion from a year ago.
That's a bit
Nick
naughty.
Foster, I think. Wheel to wheel.
Josh Hill just letting him know that the grass is on the right-hand side. Damon Leach has got going. He's just coming out of the pits and trying to keep out of everybody's way.
Yeah, he's a couple of laps down. So Earl Bamber up into the 9th position. He won the New Zealand Grand Prix last year. This is the 56th running of the New Zealand Grand Prix, brought to you by Lexus F Sport. You got the Giles Motorsport team cars 1 and 2. Victory Racing in 3rd with Daniel Kiervat. To the E-Tech Motorsport team cars, Scott Pye and Josh Hill. What's going to be going through Josh Hill's mind right now? He knows his grandfather has won this race twice previously. Does that put a little bit of extra pressure on as we look at this unique onboard view on board the Red Bull number 29? Mitch Evans has just set his fastest lap at a 64.5. Cassidy behind him with a 64.6. And Daniel Kiervat, the young Russian, at a 64.7. And there's the breakdown of the fastest laps. And predictably, it's those drivers in the top 2 or 3 that are dominating with fastest lap speeds right now.
And they're getting away from Scott Pye in 4th and the little train following him, really for 2 reasons. One is that Scott Pye and Hill and Foster are involved in their own battle, and these 3 out front are just sort of stringing each other along. Maybe tactically, maybe waiting to see what will happen in the rest of the race. But they've got to be careful they don't use up their tyres too soon, and they won't have anything left at the end of the race. Then perhaps Pye, Hill, Foster, McNee, perhaps they're all saving them for later in the race. We're only on lap 10. We've got a long way to go yet.
Well, we've got 3 or 4 drivers in the 64-second bracket. Fastest lap for Mitch Evans at a 64.539. 64.613 for Cassidy, 64.790 for Kiervat, and 64.999 for Scott Pye. Those are the only 4 drivers in the 64-second bracket. Josh Hill just a little bit out of shape through the S's on the approach to the hairpin.
Just a little bit ragged going in there, losing the back end a little bit, but he collected it up. I don't think there was any great problem there, but still the front 3 string themselves out from the rest of them.
So Mitch Evans, just 16 years of age, the youngest ever Toyota Racing Series champion, chased by Nick Cassidy, who's also 16 years of age.
You see Mario Farnbacher there, and he's another one that's had a bit of a frustrating weekend. Oh,
Jamie
what's
McNee
happened
slowing.
to McNee?
Jamie McNee is slowing on lap number 11.
There's all four wheels pumped, tyres pumped up. It doesn't look like he's got a flat tyre. He must have a mechanical problem somewhere there.
Well, that is cruel luck for Wellington's Jamie McNee. He will join Damon Leach in the pits so early in the New Zealand Grand Prix. So we're in about third race distance. Lap time's continuing to come down.
Jamie, do you think young Nick Cassidy is shadowing Mitch Evans here deliberately? Is he just staying with him? Do you think Cassidy has the capacity to get past Evans? He certainly looks as if he's not losing any ground.
Deja vu, Mr. McMurray, because in this situation last year it was Mitch Evans leading, being stalked by one Mr. Earl Bamber. That's
right. Yeah, well, I think maybe Mitch Evans will be very aware of that. Perhaps Mitch is the one that's controlling his pace. They're only a tenth of a second apart on lap times effectively, so maybe they're just controlling each other. They know each other very well, as we've said before. They've raced each other quite a lot. Nick Cassidy's first year in the Toyota Racing Series. Mitch Evans is experienced in this series, but they're still equally as fast as each other at the moment.
Just about identical lap times last time by. 64.61 for Evans, 64.66 for Cassidy. Work goes on under the engine cover for Jamie McNee. Scott Pye making some gains on him as well.
We have
some action further back. Alistair Wooten, he must have damaged a front wing.
Just lost the bonnet off the car, and in fact he's lost a lot off the car.
And Earl Bamber with rear wing damage on the Tissot number 2.
Well, Wooten was just behind Bamber at the time, so maybe there's and Alex Lynn. Alex Lynn has lost a rear left wheel by the looks of it.
He's got right front suspension damage. Here's the peak antifreeze replay.
Alex Lynn trying it up the inside, getting underneath Wooten, who gets underneath Earl Bamber. Earl Bamber was the innocent party in that little escapade, and I think maybe Wooten was a little bit innocent as well.
That was about the 9th and 10th position. Will we see a safety car? Because Alex Lynn is stranded out on the racetrack with damaged right front suspension. It almost looked like Alistair Wooten got a little bit out of shape first. Alex Lynn sees the opportunity to go the inside of Wooten, and it was just sort of a concertina effect from there.
The trouble is Alistair Wooten then had nowhere to go outside of him apart from into Bamber, and that's exactly what he did.
So that's off the exit of Higgins. And a safety car has been called as Alistair Wooten pits in the radio hierarchy machine. Don't go away. We'll be back with more from the 56th New Zealand Grand Prix after this break. Evans out of Higgins with just 6 laps left to go. He may have just decided to make his move because the lead is now 0.7 of a second, and it's probably the biggest gap we've seen during this race.
I think you're right. Maybe Evans has been just saving the best for last for himself. We'll see what his lap time is this time. It was 104.572, which 105. He's actually gone a little bit slower, but the gap is down now to just 0.3 of a second again. So yeah. Cassidy has thought, okay, bud, you can do it, so can I too.
I think he lost some time out of that final corner because it was a fairly big gap. He might have just run it a little bit deep. We just caught a sight there of his brother Simon Evans nervously looking on in the pits here in Manfield. So maybe a little mistake there from Evans, because it certainly cost him the better part of 0.4 of a second in that last lap. Back on board over the rear wing. There's going to be some nervous dads in the pits.
There's a lot of nervous mums and dads all over the place, I think.
Certainly Owen Evans and Peter Cassidy will be the two most nervous at the moment. This is the biggest race of these two young drivers' lives.
And it's something that Mitch Evans has been building up to since he did not win it last year, and that disappointed him and the family enormously. He has been focused on this all season long.
So let's check out the condition of Daniel Kiergaard's tyres. A great shot here, and it's not too much different from earlier on in the race, and Daniel's just starting to string some pretty serious laps together right now.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of pickup there. They're not too bad at all. They're obviously right up to temperature now after 30-odd laps. You can see on the right-hand tyre there, just the right-hand... Oh,
Cassidy's off.
Cassidy
That's
off.
Nick Cassidy out of the second position.
Oh.
That's out of Dunlop. The final corner onto the front straight. He's back up and running though. What has happened to Nick Cassidy? He was within 0.3 of a second off the back of Mitch Evans. Here's the peak antifreeze replay.
That's
Cassidy makes the mistake.
He gets on the curb. The curb is no good for racing, but luckily he just bounces over the curbs, bounces high under the curbs, catches that piece of dirt and just puts him sideways.
Unbelievable. That has just cost him a chance at the New Zealand Grand Prix. The Evans family, I don't think they realised who it was.
No, I think they realised exactly, Jamie, but that shows just how close New Zealand families are with each other. They could see, I think, that Cassidy was spinning there and they were concerned for him. So lucky to keep it on the track, or get it back on track. So
unbelievable,
lucky.
Unbelievable. Mitch Evans now with a 3.5 second lead over Daniel Kvyat. I'm sure the team will be on the radio. He'll be aware. Well, he just needs to look in his rear vision mirrors and know that Nick Cassidy is not there.
Well, he would have seen a cloud of rubbish behind him and had a good stare as he was coming out down into turn one and noticed that there was a big empty space behind him.
Well, it didn't slow him up because Evans' last lap was a 64.6, only a 10th off his fastest lap of the race. Cassidy has resumed, but he's back in the 7th position.
So he's going to have to worry a little bit now, Cassidy, and cleaning his tyres up, unless if Lucas Šović can get in front of him, which I think he just has. I think Cassidy has dropped back to 8th position now, so he's just getting the car back in shape, and he's got to get his head back in shape as well. You can see Josh Hill there looking in his mirrors just as Nick Foster is coming down underneath him. Josh knew exactly where Nick was going to try it. He's looking again. Nick's trying up the inside. Ooh, I didn't think that was going to work, but not close enough.
Yeah, Josh had to run it in pretty deep, though. He's a little bit sideways off the exit. He may be vulnerable. He's got to go to the inside to protect that line down into turn number one. Foster pulls out
right
of the
on the
draft.
inside. Right on the inside. He's staying there, he's staying there, he's staying there, and Foster's going to try the outside, and that won't work.
Just pinched a brake going down into one. Mitch Evans with just a lap and a half left to go to win his first New Zealand Grand Prix. He finished second last year. A fantastic dice with Earl Bamber. Earl Bamber with dramas. He's pit side. Will not win his second consecutive New Zealand Grand Prix. Josh Hill, can he hold off Nick Foster for the 4th position? I know it's off the podium, but I think this is important for young Josh Hill.
I think it's very important. He's had a really, really good race here, and he's had to battle with Foster all the way. Foster has clearly been faster on some parts of the circuit, but Josh Hill has clearly been able to keep him behind him.
So this battle continues on. Mitch Evans about to take the last lap forward. There it is now. One more lap for Mitch Evans. The wet and forget Bank Link #1 Toyota. 16 years of age. Now, I haven't even thought about this, Bob. Would he be the youngest ever winner of the New Zealand Grand Prix?
Well, if he's the youngest ever winner of the New Zealand Grand Prix, he will be the youngest ever winner of a Grand Prix, because I'm sure nobody else at 16 years of age has won any other Grand Prix in the world. So that's something for the record books we could look up.
His last lap was a 64.8. Mitch Evans, there's Tracy Evans looking on.
Owen looking a bit concerned at the back. You'll never get that concerned look off his face until after the race. But it looks like, no, I'm not going to say anything here, but Mitch hasn't got far to go, has he?
One more corner for Mitch Evans to win the 56th New Zealand Grand Prix, brought to you by Lexus F Sport. An amazing run. He's dominated the championship. Out of the final corner, Manfield has gone off. Mitch Evans wins the 56th New Zealand Grand Prix.
There's the smile from Owen now. The race is done. Mitch has got the cup. He goes to Europe with already a Grand Prix title.
Unbelievable stuff. Daniel Kvyat will cross the line in second. Australian Scott Pine third. But young Mitch Evans wins his first New Zealand Grand Prix at just 16 years of age. Unbelievable stuff. Well, what a result for Mitch Evans. He wins the 56th New Zealand Grand Prix, brought to you by Lexus F Sport. Daniel Kvyat, the young Russian, in second. Australian Scott Pine third. How about Josh Hill in fourth? His grandfather won this race 2 times previously, in 1965 and 1966. Nick Foster in fifth. Mario Farnbacher in sixth. What a fantastic race.
He's finally done it, mate. New Zealand Grand Prix champion.
Yep, won a few championships and set Landsbergers and things like that, but I think the best day of my life. You know,
It's fantastic, mate?
So hard to get there, you know. It's been 10 years, and, you know, heading to Europe this year, be neat to have this, and, you know, so many things go wrong in motorsport, and So I'm just really proud of him and pleased that we got there, you know.
Yeah, I know. It must have been nervous throughout that whole race, hoping that nothing would go wrong like last year. But, you know, Mitch Evans, he's now the New Zealand Grand Prix champion. So Owen is a proud dad. It's exactly what you wanted, to be able to send the boy off to GP3 country with Mark Webber as New Zealand #1.
Yeah, no, it is, mate. It is because, you know, at the end of the day, it's about results. Motorsport's about results, you know, and he's got him, and we got him in a good international field. That's the main thing. We got benchmarks, but. Probably one thing I said, one of the proudest days of my life, I think, so far.
Good skills, Dad. Well done, mate. Go and enjoy the moment.
Cheers.
We've spoken to Owen. We've got Dad's point of view. Come on, Mum. What a fantastic moment.
It was awesome, just awesome. I'm so proud of them, both the boys. Mitchell just drove a superb race. Superb, yeah.
And finally, you can relax. No more nervous moments.
No, oh, I'm looking forward to that wine tonight, I can tell you.
Well, you go and see
Bubbly.
Go and see Mitch. He's the New Zealand Grand Prix champion.
Thank you, see you.
Mitch, congratulations, mate. New Zealand Grand Prix champion.
Yeah, it's seriously incredible. You know, last year we came so close to it, but this year we nailed it. The team did an awesome job. The car was fantastic throughout the whole race. We had full control over Nick, and yeah, you know, congratulations to Nick. He drove awesome. Just, you know, made a small mistake, and that's what happened. But you know, congratulations to him. He drove awesome.
We've been going through some of the great names on that trophy: Chris Amon and Beardo and Kenny Smith and Graham Hill and Jack Brabham, and now Mitch Evans, mate.
Yeah, it's incredible. You know, to have my name alongside them is just saying, you know, I never dreamed of, because, you know, last year we came so close and it was just so guttering last year, but, you know, this year we've nailed it, and yes, it's fantastic. Well,
as they say in Toyota believe. You can now believe it. You've dreamed it. You've done it, achieved it, and now it can give you that launch pad for GP3.
That's it. Yeah. We've had a fantastic season so far, and hopefully it just continues when we go overseas.
Yes, as the International Toyota Racing Series champion and the New Zealand Grand Prix champion. You'll never get used to the sound of that, will you?
No.
Yes, you will.
Last year got a lot of what happened last year, but, you know, this year, you know, we done it, so awesome.
Well, Murray Taylor, that is the result that New Zealand Motorsport wanted, needed. Mitch Evans, the New Zealand Grand Prix champion. So now we can send him off overseas as a star in the future.
Well, Clint, it certainly sets it up, and I think great for Mitch, but also great for New Zealand Motorsport. But poor Nick Cassidy, but what a star in the making. You know, we've got such depth of talent. We've had the Europeans here. The Kiwis have stepped up. It's been a great season.
And look at the crowd here at Manfield today. It's just been fantastic, and an emotional win for the whole Evans family too.
Oh, I think so. You know, they've worked long and hard on this. They're on the brink of going to Europe, looking at doing GP3. This is just the way to send Mitch on his way.
All right, so that's it from TRS for the New Zealand Grand Prix. Mitchell Evans, the new superstar of New Zealand Motorsport. We'll have more coming up next week on Fujitsu Motorsport NZ.